guys, this is Shayna from yummyyarns.com, and today it's a little bit different, I guess. So I thought that it would be kind of fun to do a little knitting chat with everybody. I had originally recorded different things while I was actually knitting, but then when I was listening through, I don't know, it felt kind of like I was saying the same things over and over, and I thought it would be more fun and interesting for you guys if I kind of talked about a project that I've been working on, because if you're interested in kind of what was going on over the last few months and where I've been and everything, you can listen to the previous podcast episode that I recorded. I kind of go into it enough on there that I didn't feel like I needed to reemphasize it. So moving on from that, if you noticed in the opening screens, this is called Project 333 Knit and Chat, and that's because I wanted to talk to you guys about Project 333. If you've never heard of this, that's completely fine. It's kind of a online challenge thing that for a while was really popular with kind of the minimalism community. And if you know me, you know I'm not very good at minimalism. I tend to like a lot of color and a lot of things, and I tend to gravitate towards trying to do all the things. But I've been trying to be a lot more intentional about how I spend my time and my money and my space, and that includes clothing stuff, and that's where Project 333 comes in. I've been doing it for about 6 months now. If you want, you can join. I've got a channel on Instagram for Project 333, but make it handmade, because I kind of wanted to do a twist on it, which I'll get into in just a little bit here. So let me give you some background on Project 333. So basically, the premise is you pick 33 items to wear for 3 months, and then you can switch it out or not, or however you want to do it. But that way you can kind of have some seasonality to your wardrobe if you want, or you can just stick with about 33 items. And, you know, the challenge is to do 33 items, but as with most things that I kind of try to do and orchestrate, I'm pretty loose with that exact number. When I originally set up my closet last fall, I did narrow it down to 33 items, and that includes like tops, dresses, pants, underwear, socks, all of that stuff. If you're technically going to do it that way, the correct way, in quotes. But I decided to not include undergarments and like basic stuff like that. I decided to just basically set up my closet where the 33 items was like clothing that people see. Some people also include jewelry and accessories and stuff like that, but I tend to not wear a whole lot of that anyways, so I didn't feel like that was an area that I needed to minimize. I've got my favorite pair of earrings and a single necklace that I've been wearing, and that's kind of my go-to every day. And it's been really fun. I know some people, like, when you think about only having 33 items of clothing for all of your clothes, that can seem kind of limiting. It's also kind of nice though, because those items are actually items that you love and reach for every day anyways. A vast majority of people actually only use about 20% of their closet like what's in their closet anyway. And I definitely used to fall into that camp even before I started doing this. One of the reasons that I started looking into Project 333 was a while ago, our closet broke and we can't decide how we want to fix it. So basically the whole top rack in our closet fell out and it was just the worst because we had so much stuff in there. And now we have basically like a half size closet rack, and that's it for both me and my husband to share. And we have a dresser, and I had an under bed storage bag thing, and I have some drawers in my nightstand, and we have drawers at the end of the bed. So it's not like we're completely deficient in storage space. But it definitely was kind of a push for me to start looking through what I wear and starting to be a lot more choosy about what I bring into my wardrobe. And so, it's one of those things too that as you get older, you realize that, there's multiple things you can spend money on, but you only have a finite amount of money. And having kids and everything kind of changes your view of what you want to prioritize spending that money on. And so like I used to buy a ton of clothes and wanted to have like all the cute new trendy stuff and everything. And that's not so much the way anymore. I have my own style for sure still, but especially doing this very pared down closet the last couple of months has been really nice because it really makes me consider what I feel best in and what I want to wear and what types of pieces I want to invest my time and money in, and are they going to be pieces that actually hold up? Because one of the things that I hadn't considered when I started this is if you only have 6 different tops, they're going to get washed and worn really frequently. Same goes for pants, So when I set up my closet, I had found, if you Google online, you can find different kind of cheat sheet, almost like a lot of them kind of look like bingo sheets, to be honest, where it's like a little checklist of basics for how you can set up your closet for Project 333, like 6 pants, 6 shirts, 6 sweaters, stuff like that, where it kind of gives you a good idea of what the average person could have in their closet and feel like you have plenty of things to mix and match and use. And so that's kind of what I did. And you end up washing stuff a lot, which we end up washing things a lot anyways, because we have 2 small boys and everything gets spilled everywhere all the time. So the extra washing didn't bother me so much because it really isn't extra anyways, because inevitably we will be doing laundry. But the extra wear and tear on your clothes kind of surprised me. And it's really been kind of interesting because I've been going through a lot of my clothes and, those items that you wear once or twice a week, they get worn out a lot faster than you expect sometimes. And it really kind of shines a light on how some companies are using quality materials and some aren't. And same thing for, we've all been there where we buy a cheap t-shirt and then, a couple months later, it's all distorted and weirdly shaped because it was sewn weird and it's badly made. And, we've all had that stuff. Doing this project has really kind of shown me which companies I like to buy stuff from because their stuff actually holds up through being consistently washed all the time. And the other thing that I wanted to do with this was so let me back up just a moment. We're at the end of June now. Last month was Me Made May. And I actually have been following Me Made May for like forever because I've always thought that it was like the coolest idea. I thought it was super fun. And I really would like to have a handmade wardrobe. I think that would be super cool. And if any of you watch Young Folk Knits, Casey is constantly making all these wonderful outfits, and they're so cute and they look so comfortable and fun, and I just love that she makes all of these wonderful things. And she is very open with the fact that she hates sewing, but she likes having her handmade outfits that actually fit her correctly and are the fabric and cut and style that she wants and likes. And that's been really fun to see because I actually have always been terrified of sewing. I've tried a couple times, and the first time I tried, I broke my sewing machine badly enough that like all my friends who like were very familiar with sewing took a look at it and were like, no, I don't know what you did, but this is not fixable. This isn't how this is supposed to work. So that kind of has scared me away from sewing a bit. That and I got a book when I was trying to get back into sewing. I got a book that I was like, perfect. This is like the sewing Bible. I can read through it. I can make all the patterns. I can follow the instructions, and I'll learn all the things, and I'll be a great sewer. It'll be perfect. Because that's what I did with knitting, and that's what I did with a lot of crafts, is I get a book and I learn every step of the thing really thoroughly, and then I've got it, and I'm good. And I can't do that with sewing. For some reason, there is something where it just does not work. It does not compute in my brain correctly, and I get all stressed out and anxious. And it didn't help that the book super emphasized that you have to absolutely have your fabric exactly right, or it's all going to be messed up and terrible. And I've since been told that that's silly and I shouldn't worry about it. But it's kind of one of those things that like it got ingrained in my head, and now I'm super paranoid that I'm going to completely destroy whatever fabric I have if I cut it the wrong way. And I don't know. I'm fine with hand sewing like quilting pieces and stuff. It's just like actually getting my sewing machine out and using it. I'm scared I'm going to break the sewing machine. I'm scared I'm going to mess up the fabric. I don't know. Maybe I should just try making some things and just go into it assuming it's going to be terrible, but it's going to be a trial piece or something. I don't know. If any of you have any tips, I would gladly take them. Or if you have any recommendations on like where to go for beginning sewing lessons, that would be great. Because I would really, really enjoy getting to make my own outfits and actually feeling like I could participate in Me Made May next year. And I don't know, and like kind of getting back to the whole Project 333 thing. So this concept of having basically a capsule wardrobe that you create and kind of edit to suit the seasons and your style and everything really appeals to me. And I would really like to get to the point where my whole capsule wardrobe is stuff that I've made, so that I know that the fabric is good. I know that the construction fits me. I know, all the things, because I'm very particular about different pieces. I have a longer torso, so a lot of tops in the stores right now, especially all those cropped tops, I can't do them. It looks real bad, like really bad. And I don't know, it just, I'm very interested in this whole thing, and hopefully I can get up the guts to do some sewing at some point here. But until then, I'm going to be working on sweaters for a while, because I have a lot of socks. I still will be making socks because I love making socks. That's like my favorite go-to knitting. But this sweater that I'm working on in the video today is the Apothecary sweater by the Petite Knitter. I got to join her test knit last fall and was really excited, and then things kind of fell off the rails and I did not get my jumper done in time. However, she is super, super sweet and really nice, and I don't know, I talked her up a lot in my podcast a couple weeks ago, so I'll link the podcast below if you'd like to learn more about the sweater and the Petite Knitter and everything. Like, her patterns are really fun. I will say that her sweaters are designed to be very oversized, so really watch your sizing if you don't like that. I wanted this sweater to be super oversized, so not only did I follow the recommended fit of, I think it's supposed to be like 10 to 12 inches of ease. It's a lot of ease that I included in this one. But I also followed her instructions for making a full-length sweater, because at this point, I'm further than I am in this video. In the sweater, I actually just bound off the body and tried it on. I still have the sleeves to go. But the body is very, very oversized. Like, I'm kind of toying with the idea, once I have it blocked, of like intentionally stretching it a little bit longer so that I can actually wear it as a sweater dress with a belt, because I think it would be really super cute. Like it's almost comically oversized right now, and especially with the sleeves missing, it looks really funny. When I tried it on, my one son looks at me and he's like, "You look really fat in that sweater, Mommy." I was like, "Oh, thank you. That's exactly what I was going for." But it's okay. He doesn't get clothes. And I mean, he gets clothes. He doesn't understand clothes. And my intent with it was just to have this big, cozy, oversized sweater that I could wear instead of a jacket next fall and winter, because it'll be really warm with this wool. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm totally okay with it being oversized. So no worries there. And hopefully I'll have it done and we'll be able to show it in my next podcast episode, which will be, I think, the first week of July. But anyways, all of that, kind of a quick aside about what's actually being knit in the video. But yeah, getting back to the project 333, my goal with it is to kind of, I don't want to just get rid of stuff in my closet for the sake of getting rid of it, but it's been kind of fun now that I'm 6 months into doing this, seeing like how quickly I can decide which things I actually want to wear and which things I don't, and really noticing like, okay, I'm running out of hangers right now in this section because I added a piece here or there, and so now I need to pick out a couple things that need to leave. And it's kind of nice because I used to be somebody that, like, I held on to everything for so long. Like, I had pieces of clothing from high school that I still wore, like, seriously, up until like 4 or 5 years ago. And you know, I would just kind of wear pieces forever, like sometimes even past the point where they really should have gone, but I had kind of this emotional attachment to them. And, you know, and that's fine if you're that type of person too. We all have our ways with connecting with things and connecting with the world around us. For me, though, I really wanted to kind of break that connection that I had with stuff, because one, when our closet broke, I didn't have space to keep all of that stuff. And two, it just kind of dawned on me that, I have all of these different things and I really don't wear all of these different things anymore. And so a lot of times, like, if it's worn out, I'll get rid of it. But if it's something that's still very nice and usable and just isn't something that's my style or that works well for me or that I just don't like anymore, I have been either selling them secondhand or donating them. I don't just toss them to get them out of my house. Because I'd rather have them go to somebody else who does like them or who can use them. And that's kind of been the big thing that's helped me shift from kind of holding on to a lot of stuff to being able to let go of a lot of things and really enjoy the extra space that I get from that, is just thinking, like, I'm very blessed to have a lot of things, and there are a lot of other people that don't have that, and that, might be in a different life situation or, could really use something that they like to wear that isn't super expensive because it's secondhand or, a donation or something like that. So, that's made it a lot easier for me to let go of a lot of things. And I'm actually kind of going through my stash, and I'm going to be adding quite a bit of it up to my Etsy shop, which that I still kind of struggle with a little bit because I keep thinking like, oh, but I could use it someday for something. But in reality, there's so much of it that, like, I bought it because it was beautiful and it made me happy to buy it. And it has just sat in my storage bins for, sometimes 5 to 10 years. And, it's still perfectly good yarn. There's no bugs or anything anywhere near any of my storage stuff. There's no moisture. It's all like sealed away in plastic bins and protected and everything. So it's still perfectly fine, but it's kind of one of those things where I've realized that it's not doing anyone any good for me to just keep it to myself. Whereas if I put it up for sale and somebody else sees it and can get some joy out of it right away, that's really nice. A few years ago, I did this too, where I went through and destashed a whole bunch of yarn, and it was really fun because some of the skeins that I had been holding on to for a really long time and had originally bought with certain plans in mind and different things like that, once they sold, it was a little bit sad not having them anymore because some of the skeins were from dyers that don't dye anymore or things like that. But it was worth it when people started messaging me with pictures of the completed things that they had made with the yarn they had bought from me and telling me like what joy it brought to them. Or like I had one person that made socks for their grandson and told me about how much their grandson liked the socks, and another friend was making a sock weight blanket, and she was trying to find just like the best bright fun colors to put in it so it would be a really happy blanket. And she used some of the yarn that she had gotten from me for her blanket, and it was just stories like that that made me really happy that I destashed some of that yarn, and just kind of finding out like where those skeins went and what they grew up to become, and the fact that they weren't just sitting alone and sad in my basement anymore. And I know that this is totally personifying the yarn, but I think we all do this to some extent. It's all like our precious little babies, and we just want to keep them with us, but sometimes we have to let them go to grow up and become beautiful other things. But kind of getting back to that Project 333 thing, that's kind of the whole idea, is to just be more thoughtful about what you have in your possession and what you use and what you're buying, and rather than, constantly adding new things and new things and new things and never wearing them or using them, actually adding things that you're very excited to wear and to use, and, just getting the joy from that. And if you wear it out, that's all the better, because then you have an excuse to make another thing. But, that just means you did a good job picking out things that you love, if it's something that you actually, got quite a bit of use out of. And so that's kind of my goal with doing Project 333 is to make my own handmade wardrobe, to really be thoughtful in what I have in my closet and what I'm making. And just, I don't know, to just be a bit more intentional about everything. There was something else I was going to mention. I don't know. If you'd like to join me in this Project 333 endeavor, or just chat about it, or I don't know. I've got a channel on my Instagram. It's just at Yumi Yarns. You can message me and I can add you to that so that you can post and comment and all the things. Otherwise, this is a YouTube video. Let's have a conversation down in the comments. And I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you do the Me Made May post? Do you know what that is? Have you heard about Project 333? I don't know. I'm curious, because I feel like so much of the knitting world that I've always been a part of has been very much consumerism based. And to be honest, I was really nervous when I started doing the Project 333 stuff and started putting together this idea for the handmade version and everything. I was really nervous because as a knitwear designer, I've always viewed part of my job, and honestly a good chunk of my job, as being where I'm supposed to be promoting yarns. Like, that's the whole point of pattern design. At least that's what I thought, was that the whole reason you make knitting patterns is to promote yarn. And that is one aspect of the yarn industry and the knitting industry. But the actuality is we just make patterns that we want to make. We can just have fun with it, and it doesn't have to be about, collaborating and promoting and all of that stuff. It can just be about making yarns or making patterns and making beautiful things that we want to wear and that we think others will want to wear, and sharing those designs out into the world, and helping other knitters and other want-to-be knitters learn how to make those things. And so, I don't know, it was, like I said, it was a little bit, I wasn't sure how to go about making that switch from trying to be very, promotional and salesy kind of, to being very intentional and non-salesy. But this feels better to me, being able to just share the things that I'm excited about and interested in, and helping others to be comfortable with where they're at with their stash and their projects and things like that. Because it's very easy to get kind of sucked into the whole idea of, needing to have the yarns from this dyer and needing this dyer's whole collection because it's themed on the same book series that you love, or, you know, having to get so-and-so's patterns because you always buy so-and-so's patterns, and, you know, just kind of doing those automatic purchases without really thinking through, like, is this actually something that I like and will use, or is this something that I'm just doing? But I hope you enjoyed this little chat. I hope you come and join me next Saturday for next week's video, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and happy knitting, everybody. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, all the things. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you did. Have a great day.